sit back in your seats, get something to eat, and watch this movie. Don't let the kiddies see it, because, well, we'll let you hear the beginning version. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Closet Chat.
Hello.
Hello. How is everyone doing?
Well,
I'm not asking you. I'm asking the audience. Anyways, I am Sunny.
and I'm Rainy.
And welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to the 13th episode.
The 13th episode. It is very special. And now, Rainy, now I ask, how are you, my fellow co-host?
I mean, I've had a fun week.
Let's say that Rainy has had a shitty week. It's work related.
It's my day job related, but we're not going to talk about that. We're leaving that at the door.
We're leaving that poop on the door.
Stop.
All right, Rainy, tell us, what are we doing for this episode? What makes it so special?
Well, this is the 13th episode, and, we decided ahead of time, why not watch a movie franchise based off the number 13?
Can you guess what it is?
Well, it's very Halloween-y theme.
It is. Not only that, but it's a very popular slasher.
Yeah.
Probably guessed it by now, but it is Friday the 13th.
Yep. So, and disclaimer, we do know there's a lot of movies under that name.
Let's see. There are 8 movies for the main films, and then after that, there's like a billion spin-offs.
Yeah, we were focusing mostly on the movies. I think there is a total, and don't hold this against me because there were so many. At least around between 12 to 15 movies.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and it was so much, and we started this late, watching each movie, and then of course, our personal lives started getting hectic.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we were not able to watch all 8 movies, but I do believe we have gone up to 6 movies.
5 movies, actually.
5 movies.
Yes.
Ha, 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 ha.
So we were more than half of the original 8.
Mm-hmm. So this will probably end up being a 2-parter because we do want to finish the series, or at least I do.
I definitely want to see Jason Goes to Space.
I want to see what it's called, Freddy versus Jason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of my friends said that's the best one.
I definitely.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And maybe maybe if we still do this for another year, we can go do Halloween next Halloween.
I would be down for that. I would
fun.
very much. I would like to have this become a more regular mini-series where we watch horror franchises or slashers and just do all of it. And just go ham.
Go ham.
Yeah, I love horror. I'm a big horror fan.
I mean, I'm starting to get into horror and slasher, so yeah.
Thanks to me? ?
Yeah, thanks to you.
All right, so
I'm trying to readjust my hat. Oh yeah, we're wearing hats too. Our my some steampunk hats I have because it's by the time this episode comes out,
it's gonna be Halloween.
Woo.
And even if y'all can't see it, at least we're enjoying ourselves.
We're giving ourselves that Halloween feel.
Yeah, I hope everyone has been having a good Halloween season so far, and a happy Halloween
before Christmas takes over.
And then it'll straight up be Christmas.
Yep.
Ignoring Thanksgiving. No, it's just straight up gonna be Christmas.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So let's actually get into it. So, like we said earlier, we did watch the first 5 movies, and I won't lie. Personally, it just felt like a chore because there were so many, and they were going at such a slow pace that if we do skip some parts, we're sorry. It was just too slow for us at the first.
For me, it was a mixture of the slow pace, but not only that, I think it was either the 3rd movie where I just started getting absolutely bamboozled by everything.
Yeah.
And so scene after scene would be a punch to the gut repeatedly. So I straight up stopped taking notes because I was so bewildered by just the amount of nonsense that was happening, especially in the fifth movie. My God, I have so much to say about that one.
Yeah, like, oh my God. I think the third movie, it's when I was starting to be more of an, like, when I was making notes, I started making more assholey remarks, which I'm just like, looking back and I'm like, oh, that's how much I cared for the movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, oh, let's see if we can get through this movie without...
It's rough, guys.
Yeah.
It was pretty rough. So...
We start with number 1?
Let's start with number 1. So, we start off with a scene. There's a child walking down a rainy sidewalk. In my notes, I said their dirty-ass looking shoes are completely drenched, and it's the middle of the night. Because they're, like, stepping all over, like, puddles, and they're wearing these, like, ratty-ass sneakers. Their mom calls them back to the house, and after that, we see a mysterious stranger. Their feet, specifically. Question mark. Is it Jason? That's the first scene we started off with.
Huh.
Yeah, I have no idea how it pertains to the movie, actually, now that I think about it.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Halloween.
It sounds like Halloween.
It does, and I was looking at my notes, and my notes says, movie starts out with the murder of horny teens. And I'm just like, wait, what? So that's what I was confused about.
Wait a minute. Is this the second? God damn it.
Oh, is this
I already goofed up.
Sunny goofed up. Oh, no.
That's the beginning to the second movie. And that's why I was like, wait a minute. How does this pertain to, like, Friday the 13th?
Okay, we're keeping that in. Just for record, Sunny goofed up. But yeah, so I think actually Friday the 13th, the first part, starts in,
Oh,
where
I found the notes.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, they start at the camp first, and then it's...
So it's like a flashback scene, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you see these two camp counselors, they kind of like run away from like the main event at the cabin, and they go into like this more like I think a shed or something.
Yeah.
They're making out.
They get very... Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they be smashing.
Yep.
And we're following the perspective
of the killer?
Of the killer, yeah, of Jason.
Is it Jason?
Could be.
It could be.
Or maybe it isn't.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Not until the end.
We don't know, yeah. And they get brutally murdered.
They do.
And that turns out to be the first event of the killings.
Mm-hmm.
After that, there's a bit of a time skip. I think.
Yeah.
How many years was it?
I think
like 3 years.
3 years or so. I did put down after the first scene where the movie starts out with the murder of horny teens. I put pet dog bonus, because I think that was the first thing I saw.
Yeah, so we start to follow this girl. And yeah, that's where she's petting the dog. She has her camp gear with her, like all this stuff. And, she's like going to Camp Crystal Lake. And, let's see. So throughout the movie, we're kind of like switching perspectives of like the different like victims.
Yeah, and we're also like, we're doing that while following the fact that they're trying to rebuild the camp. So that way it can be used again. And it's just like, okay, so they're rebuilding the camp that has a history.
Of a brutal murder.
I think it was a drowning.
So, no, it was someone drowned, but then those other camp counselors did end up getting murdered. That was a whole, like, flashback.
Yeah.
And so, they're trying to rebuild it. You have the main dude who's, like, he's, like, the boss of the camp, I guess.
Yeah.
The head honcho of the camp counselors.
Uh-huh.
And, so, we're following, like, different groups of people. There's the teenagers that are, going on their, like, truck or their car towards the camp. They encounter the weird dude who's like, I prophesize your deaths. And they're like, LOL, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to see him again.
Yeah.
I also, no joke, in my notes, I was like, that person's gonna die, that person's gonna... Like, I was pointing out, like, these people are gonna die.
Yeah. Also, the girl, let's see, Annie? Yeah. I thought she was gonna be the main character.
I thought I put down is the final girl, and then I later down I was like, oh nope.
No. So what happens to her is that she doesn't even get to Camp Crystal Lake because she ends up hitching a ride with a stranger, and we don't see the stranger. So we assume it's the killer.
Yeah, and the stranger doesn't talk at all, so we can't tell if it's like who they are. Exactly.
Yeah. So the stranger who's like giving her the ride, they keep on driving. They drive past the camp, and Annie starts to freak out. She eventually like jumps out of the car, runs into the forest, but ultimately she dies.
Yep. And I was like, God dang it.
Yeah, and I really thought she was going to be the final girl.
Yeah.
I will say, the one thing I do kind of appreciate about this series is how they definitely do not follow, like, expectations, you know? Because, like, you think this one person is going to be the final girl, or this person is going to survive. No! Everybody dies!
Yep.
And then the person you least expect to be the survivor is the one.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's fun. Let's see. So yeah, we chasing, and then there was, I don't know why I put funeral time, and then sunny surprise on my notes. Do you remember when there was a funeral?
I have no idea.
Okay, so we're gonna skip that. And then it's the beach time. You know, everyone's having fun. Everyone's playing pranks. And I think
a dude pretends to drown in order to kiss a girl, and I was just like, okay,
you're a jerk.
You are a jerk.
But I did put in this in the notes because something was going on with our audio. It wasn't matching up to the film.
Oh my gosh, and it's so funny. We will come back to that again towards the end.
Oh yes, because I think at that point we were just losing it.
We were losing it because basically imagine this. So all these people who are dying, they just die in silence. So silence, they fall, and then suddenly, ooh, or something. You know, you hear them actually like struggle, but it's like so stupid.
Yeah, I think it's just like, this is why audio is important, because otherwise it could just make a scene less impactful.
It was definitely less impactful. But I will say, it was pretty interesting. I mean, well, I thought it was pretty funny, actually.
We're going to get back to it,
We're going to get back to it.
Especially towards the end. But yeah, so then is that... I put, there's a snack in my cabin. As in, there's a snake in my cabin.
Oh, yeah. So in one of the girls' cabins, she's freaking out because there's like a snake. The guys go over there. They chop the snake's head off. And it's like, wow, this is kind of brutal.
Yep. I think this was like before, like...
everything started going downhill.
Well, I was going to talk about the industry, how they've gotten really heavy about how things are portrayed, like the ratings.
Yeah, because I don't remember, was it a real snake?
I think it was a real snake at some point.
But did they actually cut off its head?
I don't know.
Because was it just a fake snake at that point?
I will look into that for a second, if you would like.
Sure. So, honestly... like, honestly, I found it to be pretty boring because really you're just following the characters doing shit, like getting the camp prepared, doing shenanigans, smashing.
People dying.
There's some foreshadowing of like this one dude, he almost like nearly shoots one of the girls with an arrow. Later on, that's how the guy dies, I think. He gets shot in the face with the arrow. Yeah, pretty rough. So, you know, a bunch of stuff happens, and there's lots of nudity. At one point, there was strip monopoly. But then, one by one, everybody starts to die. And throughout all of this, we only really see the killers, like you really only see the lower half of the killer. Or basically, you never see their face, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, you keep thinking, oh, it's Jason. It's Jason because, you know, it's all about Jason. At least, you know, I didn't really know anything about the movie. But then later, it starts to follow this one girl. I think she was the girlfriend of the main honcho dude. I forget her name.
Yeah, I forgot. Okay, so I did look it up. So it was a real snake.
I don't know.
That the handler didn't even know was going to happen.
Whoa, they didn't even know they would chop its head off?
Yeah.
But that's like,
Yeah.
that snake belongs to somebody then.
Yeah. And it was like, that's kind of fucked up. And like, that poor snake.
Yeah, no kidding. That's so bad.
Yeah. But I think the people who worked on the first movie, they actually do feel bad about it.
Does it say?
I looked at the article. It says, yeah, they feel bad about doing this scene.
Bro, no kidding.
Yeah, because it's a real animal.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah. So we start to follow who apparently is the main girl. She's like a student. She does like psychology, so you get to hear more of that in her backstory. And basically, her and the Honcho and several other kids, they go to a bar, and everybody else remains at the camp. So that's when everybody starts dying at the camp.
Yep.
So they all basically die. The psych student girl and everybody else, they go back. They start to like see all this crazy stuff. And because I think she was the one who actually came back first, right? Everybody else followed behind.
No, I think she came in last.
No. She came back to the camp first, saw all the dead bodies, starts freaking out, is running around because the killer is chasing her at this point. Right?
Maybe it's been a couple weeks since we've seen that.
Or am I thinking about the second movie again?
I think you might be thinking of the second movie.
God damn it! I don't remember the first movie then.
Okay, hold on.
Wait,
let's
because
see.
she has a confrontation with the mom.
Yeah, she does have the
Okay, so
confrontation.
it's not her. Okay, that's when she pretends to be his mom. That's the second one.
Yeah, it's the second one.
So who's the main girl in the first one then?
No, you're right. She is a psych major.
No, that's the second movie though.
You sure? Cause
Yeah. Because remember she uses
Oh yeah,
the,
You're right.
Yeah.
God dang it, you're confusing me too.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I think it's the girl that was flirting with the head honcho.
Okay, so that's still happening. What the heck?
It's been so long, and
Apparently, I just straight up did not take any notes for the first movie.
I did, and God, I even made so many references to the audio. That's how focused I was, apparently. But yeah, we do. There's like some like more deaths happen. There are hellos happening, like someone saying hello, and it turns out to be Ms. Voorhees.
Okay, so this is when like the main girl comes back, or she's there, sees all the deaths, and that's when she encounters because she's trying to like phone the police. The phone lines are cut up.
Yep.
And so she's kind of stuck, and then the person arrives, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're here! We need to like leave or call the police." And Miss Voorhees. She was like, "Well, no, let me like look around the camp, like let's investigate or something like that." Basically, you can tell that something is off immediately with her.
Yeah. And then like as the scene keeps going, she does finally break down. And she starts using a higher voice to emulate her son. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, okay, yep. Danger time.
Danger time. And so they end up having a confrontation, which this goes back to the audio. And it's like the funniest goddamn thing ever.
The audio was so behind that we were laughing at the fact that
Miss Voorhees? No. Somebody was smashing somebody's head into the ground, and it was silent.
it was so silent, and it was only like 20 seconds after the scene happened, the audio came up, and we were just laughing because we were like, this is so bad. But
This is so bad, yeah.
so
I think we
funny.
were watching this on HBO, too.
Yeah, it was at your house.
Yeah. So it was at my place and HBO. And fortunately, we had subtitles, but like, it was so bad.
It was so bad. We were just laughing it off because we were just like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad.
So they fighting, pulling each other's hair. It's pretty like intense, kind of funny.
Yeah.
And main girl ends up like getting the axe.
I think it's the machete.
Oh, the machete. Yeah, you're right. The machete, and she ends up cutting off Miss Voorhees' head.
Yep.
Her head flies, and then she like gets into like a canoe, goes into the lake, for some reason.
To get away from land.
To get away from just everything.
Yeah. But she wakes up. She just looks around. And then Jason's drowned corpse pops up and drags her down.
Yeah, into the waters. And then she wakes up again, and I think she's like in the hospital, or she's being taken away by the ambulance.
No,
and basically,
she is in the hospital.
yeah, the police were saying, yeah, you know, it's really weird that we like found her in the canoe, and she keeps saying that there was some sort of like that there was a boy, and she's asking about it, like what happened to the boy, like where is he? The police, you know, they kind of dismiss her.
Yeah. But yeah, that's part one.
Yeah, and as you can tell by our confused ramblings, a lot of stuff happens, and it's just, I don't know. I wasn't very impressed.
Yeah, like I think it was just the pacing.
And the audio made it worse.
Oh no, the audio made it hilarious.
It made it hilarious, but sometimes it just made it so bad because I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah. But I think for me, it's the pacing and the fact that we kept jumping over, like, because I felt like there was too many perspectives. Mm-hmm. There was too many people, point of views that we were jumping back and forth to, and it was just like, okay, it's way too much. It's
Yeah, you can't even like memorize the characters' names because there's so many of them.
The only one I remember was Annie.
Yeah, because I thought she was going to be Mean Girl. She was goofy, she was cute and charming, and then she's the first one to die.
Yeah, it's just like, why?
Yeah, so that was that. So the second one, we follow a child walking down a rainy sidewalk. Their dirty shoes, Skechers, I think, or sneakers, they're completely drenched as they're walking through like puddles. It's the middle of the night. Their mother calls them back to their house, and after they leave, we see another pair of feet walking into the same spot. Jason? Okay, now we're finally at the second movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so the second movie actually does start with, after that slight chasing, it does start with the flashback from the last movie.
So the great thing about the series is that, you know, there is some consistency.
There is. They tried their best to...
No, it's the fact they keep doing shitty recaps through dreams.
Oh, that's
almost
right.
Every single movie.
Yeah, that's right. I think we were getting frustrated.
I was getting so sick of it because I was like, damn, we just, like, especially since we, like, would go back to back with the movies.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just like, oh my god, like they're literally taking the scenes, not doing anything new with them. It's just, they're just recapping. Like, why do we need this?
Yeah. Oh, I did put in the audio matches this time.
Yay.
Comment because I was like, oh, because we saw it and we were like, oh, so that's what it's like with the audio.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You're like, wow, this is what it feels like to watch a movie normally. So the main character has that shitty nightmare. She wakes up. And, you know, she was dreaming that Jason was still in the lake. So, you know, the character, she's, like, in her own home. You can tell that she's definitely still experiencing, like, trauma. And, you know, she's on the phone. Her mom calls her. And basically her mom is, like, being overbearing. And then she's like, fuck you, Mom.
I put, it's not a phase, Mom. I don't know why.
It's PTSD, Mom.
Yeah. And I also noticed, because I also wrote this down, there's a lot of shower scenes in Friday the 13th. Like, to the point where it starts to become a little uncomfortable.
It's definitely a trope.
Oh, yeah.
1000%, because she does end up taking a shower. And at that point, I'm like, oh, I'm surprised we don't see full-on, like, titties yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, full-on nudity. So it's very, like, subtle. And then after her shower, she receives a mysterious phone call, and there is no one on the other side. Yeah, it's silent. So who is it? She is immediately on guard and is paranoid, slowly going through her house as the camera closely follows her face. So I actually appreciate this scene because with them, like, focusing on her face, I felt like we were very focused on her and we couldn't see the environment. So it felt very, like, almost like claustrophobic in that way.
Yeah, it was it's actually really good camera angles, and I will admit, like, because like you don't, because you're going to be in the same position as her, like you don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. But what makes it more scary for us, the audience, is that we don't see, because we usually can see what's going on in the
Yeah.
scene, and we can even we would just have to pray it doesn't get to the main character.
Well, you get to like look at her expression.
We get to look at her expression,
Yeah.
but we can't focus on the scene because we're too focused on her expression. So we're just in the dark as she is.
Yeah.
So it's just a really great character.
If not more.
Yeah, which is really great.
So then, there's a bit of a jump scare where a
Jump
cat
scare.
jumps through, a window, and I'm just like, why is your window open? What? And then, boom, main character dies.
Do you know what I put when she died?
Yeah.
She dies at the first 5 minutes. Nunny the F. I can't.
Bro.
I already used my cursing card this month.
Honestly, she dies so fast, and I did not expect that. And then you see Jason, and then he opens the fridge, and then his mom's head is in the fucking fridge, and I'm just like, what is happening?
I think she opened the fridge first, saw the head, and she freaked out because she thought it was another PTS moment.
Oh.
That's when she died.
Oh, okay. So either way, his mom's head is definitely in the fridge.
Yeah.
I made the comment of, man, Jason is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So after that, we follow someone else. A couple arrives in a deadbeat town of the previous movie.
Oh, creepy town again with the old creepy guy?
I think it's Ralph is his name.
Yeah, his name's Ralph.
So Ralph confronts them at the telephone booths and tells them that they're going to be doomed, that they're going to die. And then, after Ralph leaves, the couple trucks get towed. And the couple's like, running after their truck, screaming and stuff. And it turned out it's a silly little prank. OMG. One of their old friends is friends with a tow truck dude, I guess.
Yeah.
So together they drive to Camp Crystal Lake. And there's a big ass branch blocking the road. That's all I remember for that. I
Yeah.
guess they get rid of it. I don't know what happened with that.
I think they found another way.
Okay, so apparently the camp is back again. It doesn't seem like a lot of time has passed, though.
I think it was 1 year. I think it was like 1 year after the
Yeah, I think it's a year after. And not too soon after the girl from the last movie died.
Yeah. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. So, we go to a scene where we get a butt shot of this one chick and dude throws a rock at her butt.
Of course.
So, and then like, I
Okay.
don't know where that went, but they all gather up, like all the camp counselors and everybody gathers up. Yeah.
I found that it was 5 years after the event of the first film.
Okay, so it was a large like time skip actually.
Yep.
Okay. So, they're having like a camp counselor meeting. Head honcho, different one, is there, and the meeting is interrupted by this girl who is actually going to be our main character. So she arrives with her car, and her car is like breaking down. Ooh, foreshadowing.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, my first impression was like, wow, she's an asshole.
I put that she might die next.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said we think she's gonna die next. Either her or the goofy guy.
Yeah. Oh, and then like I think they have a campfire where they have Jason's story time. They talk about what happened 5 years ago, and then even beyond that, what happened to Jason himself.
Yeah. So they do that, and the counselor, the main honcho, he warns everybody to stay off of Camp Crystal Lake. It is absolutely off limits.
Yep. And then jump scare.
And then a jump scare because someone has a mask.
Yep.
So, everyone is chilling later on after this. The main character girl goes off to bed. We finally get some titty shot, except she's wearing a bra. I don't know why I made note of that. And then she gets jump scared by the head honcho and they start making out. Meanwhile, there is a mysterious figure walking menacingly. It's revealed to be the creepy old man, Ralph. He watches them make out, and then he instantly gets killed from a wire to the neck.
Yeah. That was like, I didn't think we were expecting that. We were like, what?
Yeah, I didn't expect Ralph to die at all. I was like, I thought he was going to be the one person to just live throughout the entirety of this franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that would have been really funny.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I put down these two notes after Ralph dies. Forest time, then dog, muffin, no.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're gonna get there. All right, so main character wakes up and her head honcho boyfriend wrote "Beware of bears" in her in lipstick on the mirror of her room.
Oh, that's pretty fucked up.
Then we switch to a scene where the counselors are doing a morning jog, and the girlfriend notices something. There's some sort of noise, but she continues her jog. There's a dog that was with them. I think the dog actually splits up, and we see that mysterious figure. The dog approaches him, and I guess it's implied that the dog dies?
No, actually.
Well, later on, yeah. But
Later
at that
on.
moment,
At
we're
that
like,
moment,
oh my
yeah.
god, Jason killed the dog?
Yeah, I literally put muffin, no!
Yeah.
I actually had more attachment to the dog than I did with any of the other characters.
This is gonna be a reoccurring theme
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the movies.
Yep.
You really don't give a damn about any of the characters.
Because they don't last longer than one movie, apparently.
Yeah. So, the couple from the beginning of the movie are, they decide to check out Camp Blood despite the warnings. The boyfriend is pretty reluctant, though, so, the girlfriend convinces him. So they sneak off. And I wrote the note, we think they're gonna die next. So we follow them. They're being stalked. And we go back and forth between them and the other counselors chilling at the beach. Uh-oh, we see Jason's shoes again. The couple that were going towards Camp Blood, they see the dead dog. But then suddenly, an officer catches them. And he's like, what are y'all doing in this area? This is off limits. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and then they get punished.
Well, they get a slap on the wrist. And
yeah.
the cop was really pissed off about it.
Yeah, I put punished in air quotes. So I think, yeah. But and then when the cop leaves, he notices somebody and he starts chasing. And then I put, why doesn't he call backup when he's chasing
Honestly.
Jason? And I'm like, dude, you don't, because this area has a history of deaths. Why not call backup to make sure that, you live another day?
Honestly, especially if there's something suspicious. I wrote, he goes off to chase the mysterious figure. Epic chase scene! ! Kudos to the cop for doing his job, ? He takes it seriously, at least. And then he finds an abandoned-looking shack. Is this Jason's house?
I put, Jason, is that you?
And I said, if that is his house, damn, bitch, you live like this?
Yeah.
So, he sees his shack. This officer is very confused, and we see Jason approaching him from behind. Bam! Hammer to the head. I was kind of sad that the officer died.
Oh. Yeah. He actually was trying to, make sure the area was safe.
Yeah, because he was he even told the head honcho, he was like, hey, this is y'all need to relocate somewhere else. Get as far away from this camp. I don't understand why y'all are even doing this, you know? Because there's been 3 incidents here so far.
Yep. So,
a good chunk of the counselors go out to get beer at the bar. Half of them stay. So at the camp, we see Jason's shadow lurking in the background. Gasp! One of the chicks decided to go out for a late night walk. She's looking for her dog, Muffin. I wrote, she dead, bitch. We finally get a tit shot. And the chick is gonna go swimming.
I put tit shot, then full body shot in all exclamation
Yeah, I
points.
said, holy crap, we get a full body shot? Honestly, did not expect that.
Yep.
We forget that the cast is made up of horny teens because the couple go fuck.
Yeah.
Back to naked chick. Her clothes get taken, and I don't think it's Jason.
It's one of her douchebag friends.
Yeah. I am once again surprised to see her fully nude. One of the counselor dudes took her clothes. It's Scott! Scott gets caught in a noose trap, and naked girl is still shirtless. LOL. So he gets caught. She goes out to look for help or look for something she can use to cut the rope. We think Scott is going to die next because he's vulnerable. Yep. Knife to the throat.
Yep. So yeah. And then like I put like the assistant might be kind-hearted, like she's actually really sweet.
Oh yeah, we realized that she's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And
then I put next, not in my Christian Minecraft server twice.
so the naked chick comes back and freaks the fuck out when she realizes he's dead.
Yeah.
All right. So we cut back to the bar, and the ginger dude, who's like the comedian guy, is like, man, this whole thing is ridiculous just because some chick falling off her canoe. Man, what is this? And then the main gal, she talks about, you know, like, oh, maybe Jason is alive, and maybe his mother's love for him had warped his sense of death.
Probably.
And then I wrote the note, what? I do not follow anyone's logic in this movie.
I put that note in saying that you're tearing this movie apart. Like, you're just not.
Yeah, I was so upset. I was
You
like,
were-
what is happening?
Yeah. It was actually, that was probably the highlight of the movie. Just hearing you complain.
So the other two guys with her, the comedian and her head honcho, they're like, man, you drunk girl. We cut back to the beginning couple making out and shit. Another couple is playing a game console in, like, downstairs. And then we go back to the couple. I guess either I don't know if they smashed already,
They probably did.
but the guy is playing a harmonica. I wrote that.
I don't remember that scene.
And then I wrote, tits? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, I just remembers that a lot of death happened. At some point after the final person is dead that was staying in the camp, Jason makes his full appearance. That's what I put. And like I even put this because this was what because me as someone who's like very picky, because I remember there was a staircase there. I put, and someone died on the staircase. I said, "Where's the blood on the stairs?" And I'm just
Honestly.
like, I was like almost tearing that part. It was like, no, that doesn't make sense. If you kill someone on the stairs, you can't wipe up the blood that quickly.
You really can't. So it was ridiculous how Jason is, like, miraculously able to, like, clean up everything immediately.
Yeah, and I'm just like, where is it going? Like, because there's no way you could have done it. Because first off, I think there was carpet on that, or like a rug on that stairs, and like blood does not come off of rugs or carpets
not.
easily. So there is no way he could have cleaned it up. There's no way he could have replaced it. So I'm just like, where the fuck did the
Of
blood
course,
go?
this is all made to, like, you know, like, not so all the other characters don't notice anything going on.
No, I still call bullshit.
No, I agree. So we return to the couple who are playing on the game console. So one of the guy was in a wheelchair, and I actually remembered, like, low-key shipping the two.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is cool. So they end up kissing. I said, hooray for them. They talk about spending the night together, and I guess they'll find some cabin to smash in.
Yeah. What else?
I have a weird
Memory?
note.
What was the note?
I said, we get another vagina shot as the chick gets ready for that. Oh no, she's putting perfume on, question mark, question mark, question mark. Because earlier in the movie, there was the whole warning of bears are attracted to
Right.
the perfume. They will
Right.
attack. And then she puts on some sexy underwear, and I'm like, it's just shiny underwear. I guess it's silk. It doesn't really look sexy. She runs to get something from her car, and it starts to rain. So we assume that she's next in line for death. Wheelchair guy is how I had him in my notes.
Me too.
He searches for her because it's been a while, and oops, I think he's next. Yep, machete to the face. He rolls down the stairs and is somehow still sitting up, question mark? Then we cut back to the couple upstairs. They're smashing. They're next. Yep, spear goes through both of them underneath the bed at the same time. Then we cut back to the bar. 3 people are coming back to the camp, I guess. Ginger guy, the comedian, he had like 50 beers. He looks pretty damn drunk. Then we come back to the camp. Oh my god, the girl in the sexy
Underwear?
She's alive. She's looking for Mark, the wheelchair boy. And then I wrote, I find it funny that we figure out the names of the characters after they die.
Yep.
Vicky, the girl, she finds the dead couple. And then Jason jumps out from the bed and he slashes her leg slowly. Ever so slowly, he approaches her with a knife. And
Machete.
I said, girl, you could have at least have attempted to run.
Yeah.
So, main girl and her honcho, they arrive back and Jason is dragging Vicky down the stairs. The counselor dude finds some of the kids' drugs, like, inside and is like, man, these kids smoke better dope than I do. And I thought that was the funniest quote of the movie.
I didn't remember that quote, unfortunately.
Yeah, they find the bed all bloodied and they are all disturbed. Then, boom, Jason appears with a spear and is fighting head honcho guy. And then, at this point, I finally figured out the name for the main character. Her name is Jenny.
Jenny, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, Paul? 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 And then Paul is, like, straight up, like, wrestling Jason.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then, like, as soon as Jason's done fighting with Paul,
Yeah.
he chases Ginny. And oh my god, I found this so funny. Ginny hid herself, but then she started pissing herself.
Oh, yeah, she was under the bed. But also, she, like, locks herself in the bathroom, and then there's, like, no lock in the bathroom. And I was like, what the heck? Why is there no lock in the bathroom?
I don't want to hear safety purposes. I'm like, no.
No. What about privacy? So, she tries to go through the window, except it doesn't work out. I think it's too tiny. So she ends up, like, escaping somehow, runs upstairs, and then she gets through the upstairs windows and gets into her car. Except, you know, foreshadowed,
Not working.
her car doesn't work. Exactly.
Yep.
Um,
I wrote one scene where, I wrote two things where Jason does find her. I think it was when they were still in the house. Mm-hmm. But he falls off the chair. And then after that, I put,
oh,
Ginny.
yeah, that was so funny.
It was funny. Because it was like, oh, whoa. Didn't expect him to fall. But then there was one where Ginny grabs a chainsaw.
Oh, wait, no, it's later where she pisses herself.
Oh, was it after? I thought it was before.
Because, you remember, she went to her car, it doesn't work, pitchfork to the car, and then so she escapes. She goes back to the house and hide. So that's when she's hiding underneath the bed. She pisses herself because there's a rat underneath the bed with her.
I didn't put the car scene then. But
Yeah.
But anyway, she grabs a chainsaw and to scare him before hitting him with another chair. And I'm like, oh my god, girl. Just hit him with chairs then. Because apparently he has no luck with chairs.
That's so funny. Yeah, and Jason's reaction was like, oh shit. I just thought that was so funny. So Ginny escapes the house, running through the forest, and eventually she stumbles upon the shack.
The shack with the shrine.
Yeah, it's a shrine of his mother. You see the mother's head there.
Yep. With her clothes too. Not like not that her head's wearing the clothes. Her clothes are in front of her head.
Yeah. So then Jenny takes the opportunity. Oh, also the other camp counselors' bodies are also like in a pile around the shrine.
Yeah.
So Jenny actually ends up putting on the mom's sweater. So remember, she's a psych student.
Yeah. And she tries to trick Jason to step down.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, Jason, it's mommy, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, oh, is it working? Is it working? He's fooled. But will it actually work? It's working? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
No.
No, because I think he notices...
He notices the head.
Yeah, he sees the head, and then he kind of, like, wakes up, and then, he is about to... Oh, and then... Okay, Paul, the head honcho, at this point, I discovered his name.
I put in, Paul's alive!
He's alive. He wrestles Jason again, and Jason's just about to stab him when Jenny makes it, and instead she stabs Jason. Yay! Obviously, Jason ain't dead yet, because, he never dies. But in this, I guess he is dead? Question mark? No, wait.
Hold on. So... Hold on, I put, after Jason is down, I put Muffin is alive.
She is. Oh, also, they take off the mask off of Jason, and I think he's wearing like a bag. So he's not wearing his iconic like
No.
hockey mask
He's
yet.
wearing his shock bag.
Yeah, and they're both like, they take the bag off and they're like, ew, he's ugly. And then they leave.
Yeah.
Paul is carrying Jenny because her leg is all messed up. And at this point, I wrote, I have the feeling that Jason is somehow going to kill them. So they find a cabin nearby, and the number one rule of this movie, don't be near windows. So I said, I bet Jason is going to kill her through the window. And then Paul, he gives her like a pitchfork from nearby. He prepares for the final confrontation. And then that's when Muffin appears. And they're like, oh, wow, sweet relief. It's just Muffin. Bam! Jason gets Jenny through the window. Screen turns white as usual. But wait! It's morning and she's being taken into a ambulance.
Yep.
She is final girl? Question mark, exclamation point.
Oh yeah, I put in, but where is Paul and what happened? Like, we don't know what happened when Jason went through that window and,
Yeah,
tackle her.
It could have been like the first movie where it was more of a like hallucination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I thought this was very funny, but I wrote the note. Screen cuts back to Jason's mommy shrine, and it zooms like into like the mom's head. And I remember you saying, "Don't you dare open your eyes!" And I wrote, "Fortunately, she did not open her eyes."
That's right. I was going to be so pissed. I'm like, if that thing is still alive, I am done. Because I was like, no, 5 years. You cannot have your eyes closed for 5 years just to open them at the end of the movie.
That'd be so funny though. So we discover like main girl survived. Head honcho, I have no idea. Paul, I guess that's his name.
Yeah.
Ginger Boy, the comedian, he actually survived. Basically, anybody who was at the bar survived, which I found to be very funny. So that's it for part 2. I'm thinking this is probably going to be like a multi-part series.
It's definitely going to be because there's so many parts, and we just finished with 2.
So do we want to go ahead and end it on this note? Do 2 per episode?
Yeah, probably 2 per episode because that's probably going to be a lot more.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and the 5th one has so much going on, so this would probably be a good idea.
Yeah. Oh my god, I think the 5th one destroyed me, really.
The 5th one was absolute insanity, and let me say, I was starting to get into it a little bit initially.
Yeah.
Because, like, I actually had, I was invested in the main character. And then I wasn't.
Yep.
But it was unusual that they got me invested to begin with.
What?
Because, like I said, one of my biggest complaints is, like, the fact that you just don't get invested in anybody because they die so quickly.
Yeah, like,
and they're all, like, low-key kind of shitty.
Yeah, like, they only appear for one movie. The only one who was, like, probably going to be in more movies is Jason.
Yeah.
Because, like, you only get to know them for one movie. You barely remember their names. And then when the end of the movie, like, you're just like, oh, this is the final girl. Maybe she'll be in the next movie. She's barely in the next movie in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then, like, for the second main girl, like, I don't think we see her for the rest of the series ever again.
I don't think so. I'm looking at part 3.
There might have been a scene with her in the hospital, but, like, I don't think we got anything.
Yeah.
Like, as far as I'm aware, she just straight up, like, disappears. No mention of her ever again.
Yeah. I feel like when we get to part 3, it's just going to be nothing on my end because I think I got that point, I got bored.
Yeah, it got pretty boring.
Yep.
So far, honestly, I guess the whole, like, draw of the movies is just straight up gore and nudity.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be so fun for us.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So far, I'm not very impressed.
Yeah. I'm just holding off hope for Jason Goes to Space.
I have high hopes for that, but I also have no hopes at all.
Because the thing is, Jason Goes to Space, I'm going to treat it as a comedy slasher.
Oh my gosh, we might as well just treat everything else as comedy. Considering how bad they are. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, this will be a fun episode to edit.
Good luck.
Mostly because I don't think there's going to be a lot of editing to do.
Fair enough.
Woo!
Wow, you're actually not being sarcastic.
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us on this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Apologies for not making any damn sense.
Of course, we never make any sense.
We are very bad at summarizing movies.
That, and we're pretty much tired half
We
the
are
time.
very tired today. I've been yawning nonstop.
Yeah. Woo!
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for being a part of Closet Chat today.
Yep.
I bid you a good afternoon.
I bid you a good evening.
I bid you a good night.
And I bid you a good morning.
Adios.
Adios.